Longtime Browns beat reporter Tony Grossi has said a few times he thinks all four of these quarterbacks can make the 53-man roster. Here he is today.
I still think that as long as they're healthy. Now, if one's injured seriously enough, you could put one on short-term IR, and that will accommodate that. But I think if all four are healthy and they don't have a trade offer just yet, I do think they'll all make the team.
Scott, I keep going back and forth with that. The more I think about it, the more I think all four of them could potentially make the roster.
I agree with you. And Andrew Berry said that that's possible. And if all 450 or guys are worth a spot on the 53-man roster, he's got no problem keeping four. Heading into camp, I felt like it's just unrealistic. These spots are pretty precious. Do you want to use four on quarterback, even though we know quarterback's important? But to me, the decision comes down to, is Dylan Gabriel ready to be your number 2 week 1? And if he's not, and I don't think he's looked like he is, then you got to keep the veterans because, I don't think they're cutting either rookie. So then it comes down to which veteran, or, do you get rid of the veteran that loses a starting job? And if you're not ready to play a rookie week 1, then you can't do that. You got to keep all four. So right now, I would say they keep all four.
The other thing that, as we talk through this, would you play Joe Flacco in preseason? I'm normally a guy that is like, yeah, you got to play your starters at least a quarter. But the more I look at it, and I think it comes back to what you're saying, do you think Kenny Pickett or one of the rookies can fill in? Because if you put Flacco out there and he gets banged up,
Yeah, if you trusted Kenny Pickett to be healthy week 1 and you knew you're going to keep all four, then I would listen to Joe Flacco. I'm not a huge, hey, you need to play in the preseason guy. I think we see it work both ways. I know the Browns have a different focus this training camp that in this preseason that it's a lot about getting ready for week 1, and we've seen the live tackling in practice, and we've seen, increased intensity and urgency, and I get it. So I would let Joe Flacco decide. If I were Kevin Stefanski, I'd ask him, hey, do you want to play against the Rams for a quarter or a quarter and a half? And if Joe said, yeah, I want the reps and I want, quote unquote game reps, I would give it to him, but that means you got to protect him. So you got to play your starting offensive line. So there's a lot that goes into that decision, but I think I would leave it in Joe's hands.
Yeah, again, if you're playing the starting offensive line, you also, you got to figure out, is it Ford? Is it Sampson? Can we see what they look like at game speed against a different opponents? So there's so many levels to that.